Welcome to this session from the True Companion, the Father. Today we will listen to a message about being master and servant. And it's important to think about yourself as a soul when you listen to this message. Listen in a soul conscious state.
The first step of renunciation is the renunciation of body consciousness. Once you have renounced the body consciousness, the second step is of renouncing all the relations of the body. What do you become when you let go of the consciousness of the body? The soul becomes bodiless. That is, he becomes a master. Since you have become a master of the self, all types of dependency finish. Because from being a servant of the body, you have become a master of the body. You have become free from serving. You cannot be a servant and someone with all rights at the same time. Being a servant is indicated by unhappiness in your mind, and it is expressed on your face. Happiness is the sign of someone with all rights and a master of the self. He is constantly cheerful in the mind and the body. A servant is always upset. A master of the self is always seated on his throne. A servant gets confused over trivial matters in a second, whereas one with all rights will constantly experience himself to be in a state of comfort, that is, in a state of rest. Check yourself to see who you are, a servant or a master of the self.
Here, the Father is explaining the difference to be a master of the self or to be a servant. And when we talk about being master of the self, then it is soul conscious state where I remember that I'm a soul. I'm not this body, and I'm not the roles and responsibilities and the relationships I'm in. And when I manage to look at others as souls and see that they are just playing their part and being in a control of my organs, being in control of myself. We can take, for example, think about when you have decided to do something and you promise yourself you're going to do this. We can say you want to eat certain type of food or you want to exercise every day. And many start to think about that in the beginning of a new year. They promise themselves to do something good in the new year. And then something comes up and you convince yourself that it's right to not go for running, or it's right to not eat what you had planned to eat. And then you have lost this mastery. You have taken the decision not to follow what you had promised yourself. So you are following the desire of the sense organs, or you are following the desire of laziness, and then you have deprived yourself of this mastery. But when you promise yourself to do something and you keep that promise, you feel like a master. And that is like the inner mastery. When I keep my promise to myself and I follow the guidelines I have given to myself, then I'm master over myself. But then it's when you are in this state of being at your throne and be a master, then you feel happy, you feel content, and you are strong and stable. But when you don't follow these promises that you have given yourself, you become a slave. You become the one who are not so happy or content with yourself, and you feel like, why am I not able to keep my promises? And you talk yourself down. So you become a servant. You become a servant to your sense organs, to your feelings, your emotions, and this is like a wide range of variety of things that we can talk about. We can talk about relationships. You have put up some boundaries for someone, and you slip out of that and allow the person to do something or say something or not. You don't allow them, you allow them to control your feelings and emotions. And that is like be a slave over under others, when others can easily press some buttons that upsets me or make me angry or sad or vulnerable, then I'm not master of myself. So it is in the relationship with yourself, and it's in relationship with others. And it's a very, very nice place to be at, to be a master of the self. Be content, be happy, and not be subservient to others, to the circumstances, facilities. So, yes, it's a beautiful place to be in, to be a master of the self, be able to be in a control over uh, your own feelings and emotions and reactions, desires and expectation. We expect things to be in this way or that way, and when they don't turn out to be in the way I expect, how do I react? Do I accept that there has been some changes in the drama, or do I get upset? And this is like being awake and alert all the time and observe what is happening internally. Where am I? Sometimes I can be master, sometimes I can be a slave, but it's just a big task to be aware of what is happening inside.
Thank you. When you say, my desire is this, then that desire of yours creates a file of complaints. Let it be, whatever is the Father's desire is my desire. What is the Father's desire? That each soul becomes one who constantly maintains pure and positive thoughts, who always has pure and positive thoughts for others and is a benefactor of the self and of the world. Constantly keep this desire in your awareness, and you will continue to move along without having to labor over anything. These physical senses are very tiny. The eyes and ears are so tiny, yet they create a very big trap. Although a little spider is so tiny, the web it spins is so large. The web of each of the physical senses is so large. They can trap you in such a way that you don't even know that you are trapped in them. They are such magical webs that they make you unconscious to spiritual consciousness and the godly codes of conduct. No matter how much souls who have come out of the web try to explain to servant souls and make them understand, what can unconscious souls understand? In a physical way, too, no matter how much you shake an unconscious person, no matter how much you try to make him understand, even if you put huge earphones in his ears, would he hear you? Similarly, these webs too make you unconscious like that. So, what pleasure would there then be?
Yes, there's a big difference to be conscious and unconscious. And these tiny sense organs, they are very, very powerful. The ears, the eyes, even the nose, what I smell something and I be contracted. Even I'm not hungry and I smell something and I get attracted to the smell. I want to go and eat something, even though it's something that I've decided not to eat. So it's takes a lot of alertness to be awake and alert. And in this message, we get the message that the desire of the Father is that we are always pure, always have pure and positive thoughts for others and be a benefactor for the self. And the mind is slippery like a soap. You know, I've decided to be positive, take things lightly, and move along throughout the day in that way. And one little thing goes wrong. I see someone do something, or yes, hear someone saying something, and I can easily slip out of that mode of being content and relaxed and positive. So to be a master is to stabilize myself in a state of positivity. And the method, I would say the method is to try to see benefit in every scene in the drama, even though I lose control. Even though I lose control and I get upset or I say something and I react, then I can use that to understand myself. I can use it to understand why I get upset or why I react harshly. It's very nice an analogy of this little spider. The spider is so small, so tiny, just like the eyes and the ears and the mouth. The body, the whole body is big. Our organs are small, and yet they are so powerful. They're so powerful, and they can pull our nose in this way or that way. They can pull us out of very happy states into an unhappy state. So the spider can trap us so strongly that we completely become unconscious, and the fan of the mind start to think again and again and again the same things. So to be a master is to be conscious, not get caught up in the trivial scene of the drama, not get caught up in feeling that I'm a right and others are wrong. It's just everything is right. Everything that is happening and coming in front of us is right, and it is a teacher. It's a teacher that is teaching me what it is that makes me unconscious. So moving along throughout the day, being fully alert and awake and see what are the sense organs or the feelings or the emotions that are pulling me in a wrong direction. These are a very, very strong message about being awake and alert and see what is happening. And that is what can make me go ahead, go forward on this spiritual journey, fulfilling the desire of the Father. His desire is that each souls become one who are constantly maintain pure and positive thoughts. And I want to be the one who constantly have pure and positive thoughts. And then I have to drop my opinions about others, opinions about how everything should be, and try to see the positive way of whatever is in front of me. So, get out of the web of all these sense organs, be awake and alert, and move along with positive thoughts and pure feelings for others and the self. Be gentle to yourself and positive, and see the goodness in yourself. That is two very strong messages.
Would you like to share?
Thank you. The first lesson that our Supreme Teacher, our Supreme Soul, our Supreme Father teaches us is that I am a soul and I am seated in the middle of my forehead, that is my throne. And when I maintain that awareness that I am a soul, I'm seated in the throne, then I can be like a king, like a master, and I can have control over my senses, my thoughts, my words, my actions. So, like we have been taught today, that I have to not just look outside, I have to keep looking inside and self-check and see what am I thinking and how am I behaving, how am I reacting. And that will give me the self-mastery and make me successful according to our Father's instructions. So rather than looking outwards with these eyes and other senses, trying to take things from outside, we have to go back in and try to introspect, which will then make me a renunciate and a successful soul. That is what I would like to keep practicing constantly to make me a successful soul. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to share a point? To add to everything you said, one help for the master is to see the game, to see everything around you as a game. It is a game, and the sense organs are here to provide information about the game, and it is up to the soul to decide how to play the game and also to play it with detachment. Whatever is happening outside, it is not meant to be serious, it is not critical, and it cannot harm the soul. The soul is eternal. So keeping that spiritual knowledge that you are eternal and everything here is like a game, then you cannot really take it seriously. You know your reality is eternal, you know your parent, you know your angelic family. Any other point anyone would like to share? Then would you like to suggest a practice for the day?
Yes, I would suggest the practice for the day to keep a notebook with you today. And every time you see that there are even very small storms going on inside, or big storms, or you're pulled here and there, write down just a small note about it. And then in your evening meditation, you talk to it. You talk about it with the Father. You talk through it and tell the Father about what was happening, and listen to your inner voice, how you can change. This is called check and change. Sometimes you can check and change instantly, but this is keep a diary over the day, what goes differently from what I had planned or I hoped for myself. And then at the end of the day, look at it, reflect on it, speak about it with the Supreme Soul, and see if you can change it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. And Happy New Year 2025.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah. May we all stay conscious, soul conscious.